Hello guys, welcome to the lesson 3 of the box system. Today we'll discuss about system objectives. Now you guys understand what trends are, right? You understand their structure, you understand the different types of boxes, you understand how when the price gets out of a box, a new trend begins. So let's design a system based on this understanding of how the prices move in the markets so we can constantly benefit from that system. We don't have to question it. The problem I see with many of the new traders is that they pick up a system, they don't fully understand it, its strengths, its weaknesses. They try it for a month or so, and if it doesn't work, they move to a new system. The cycle keeps repeating itself, and many such traders lose out over the long term. So this lesson is simply to decide what kind of system we want to create while keeping what our basic understanding of price movement, which we learned in the first two lessons, in mind. All right, so what your system objectives are. We first begin with what kind of markets you want to trade. As we discussed in the first video, that markets have two phases, right? One is trend following, one is mean reverting. Each security has certain properties which makes it more likely to be in one of the two categories. For example, growth stocks, they love to trend. They trend beautifully. While dividend stocks, retirement stocks, old companies, they don't trends as much. They are more choppy, they're more mean reverting. Forex markets, heavily bank dependent. Most of the trading happens between banks, and that's very mean reverting. It doesn't trend beautifully. Let's say commodities, they love to trend. If you catch a good trend in commodities, you can make a lot of money real quick. So the first thing we have to decide is what kind of markets we want to trade. Trend following, what are the advantages of trend following? The trend following advantages are you have to get in a trade and then you probably have to wait as the trend figures itself out. While mean reverting is more quick profits but small ones. Apart from that, you have to understand in your personality what you are really comfortable with. It's hard to say which one is better. I personally choose trend following because I have found that it allows you to compound your gains a lot faster than mean reverting systems. But again, feel free to use your knowledge about price movement to decide which one you would like better. Second thing, you have to figure out and you have to be clear about what you want to see in the markets before you decide to enter. So one thing, I'll give you an example. One thing I like to see before a box breakout is some sort of consolidation right at the edge of the box boundary. What that does is it reduces the chance of a breakout failure. If the price is coming straight from the bottom of the box, straight to the top and breaks out directly without any consolidation, I won't technically miss it. I would put half a position, but in ideal scenarios, I like it to consolidate at the resistance a bit, gain some more energy, and then push out with strength. So the chance of a failure is low. There are a couple other things that I like to look at, but this is what you have to think about when you're designing your system, is what I would like to look for in the market before entering a trade. The third thing you want to decide is what time frame you want to trade. It is very important to understand that each time frame has different mechanics, right? Like day trading is I have found it's a bit more stressful. You can make quick profits, but you can also lose quickly. It's highly volatile, so your risk management has to be on par. It has to be on point. While if you're taking a bit of a bigger time frame, it's better for beginners because you can learn and your mistakes don't cost you as much. The trend system, the trend structure I described yesterday, it works pretty well, starting from 1 hourly time frames all the way to monthly, yearly time frames. So whatever your time frame you guys decide, the system should work really well. If you go down all the way to like 5-minute or 15-minute time frame, has a bit more noise. So the trend structure does not stay intact. So you have to keep that in mind if you decide to trade really small time frame. Then it also depends on your personality. Like I personally don't like to be in front of a screen for 8 hours a day while trading. No, I like to be able to make trading decisions from anywhere. All I need to do is look at the price once or twice, and that's it. That's all I need to make a trading decision, which is not really possible with very small time frames. So what I prefer is usually 4 hourly and daily time frames. But if you guys would like to go shorter or a lot longer, that's completely fine. The fourth thing you have to think about in your system is how do you plan to take an exit? Now, a bit of it depends on what market environment we are in. If the market environment is such that stocks are trending beautifully, you can wait a bit. Based on your understanding of the trend structure, take a longer time to take profits. While if we are in an environment which is a bit mean reverting, you might want to think about taking profits quicker. As we learned in the trend structure, you have the first higher high, then a small pullback or consolidation to create a first higher low, then a second higher high, and so on. You can think about taking your profits at a first higher high, maybe partial profits, and then ride the rest. Or you can think about short-term trades where you just take the profits at the first higher push, and that's it. You don't care about the rest of the trend structure. So this is something you'll have to decide for yourself based on what you're comfortable with, how much profits you're comfortable writing. Bit of it depends on your personality. So what I can give you in the next few videos is my system and how I trade it, but feel free to tweak it or modify it based on your system objectives, which we're discussing in this video, and your understanding of the types of boxes and the trend structure. The fifth thing you have to think about is the expectancy of the system. There are some systems who do really well, but maybe they only write 3 out of 10 times. Those 3 times they make a lot of money, and then 7 times when they only lose a small amount, right? That system can work, but you have to think, can you handle that many losses, not knowing when the wins will come? It might happen that your first 8 trades are a loss. The wins are about to come, but they haven't yet. Can you handle that? So that's why the expectancy of the system is important, because once you know that your system is has positive expectancy and you're supposed to make profits over 1,000 trades, you will be a lot more confident and you will stick with it. My system, I personally cannot handle that many losses, or I don't like to. My systems usually have about 60 to 70% win rates. My day trading system is slightly lower, but in that case, my reward to risk is around 3-to-1 to 4-to-1. So I know these things intuitively, and that helps me stay confident in my system even during periods when I'm having some losses. Because trading is not a 100% game. Like, there's no system in the world that will make you win every time. You have to learn how to handle losses and not let them get out of control. Small losses is fine, right? You will survive in trading as long as you have small losses, small profits, and big profits. The only thing that will make you go out of business is a big loss. So as long as you limit your loss, as long as you have chips left to play another day, we're gonna all make it. The last thing you want to understand is the capital you want to risk per trade. Now this is important, and it highly depends on the expectancy of your system. It's important because, as I said, if your win rate is low and you're risking too much capital per trade, you might just be out of the game in the first 6 trades, right? So my personal capital I risk per trade is about 1 to 2% of my total portfolio. For some people, that's already a lot, but for me, that works really well. First video, that your stop inside the box system is always below the first zone inside the box. So any trade you will take with the box structure, your stop is already set. The price you're getting in is already set. Once you know how much capital you want to risk per trade, right, you will be able to decide your position size. You already have the buy-in price set, the stop set, and your risk set. So it will be easy to size accordingly and then take it trade after trade, just do it automatically without ever having to think how much the position should be and other questions like that. So have these objectives on the side as we go through the rest of the videos, trying to understand my system and how you can use the box structure and the trend structure and the types of boxes for different kinds of trades. Think about these questions of the system objectives, understand your objectives, and once you're very clear about them, trading will become a lot easier. All right, that's all for this video. See you in lesson 4.